tell everybody when I'm live or not. Are we live? Let's go back here. And let's see that. I think we might be good. Check audio. Go live there. Let's see what our audio. That's always the big question mark, folks.
Yeah, it says, I got a note saying you're live on Instagram.
Yes, but I'm not seeing my microphone system.
I heard the audio.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, everybody. This will make it much better all of a sudden. A excitement level that we have very seldom seen. So this goes from unprofessional, let me see this, yes, to 30% closer to professional. Tom Caldabiano here, ALR, everybody loves Raymond 360. We should be live on Instagram. Yes, I look at my head, which is there. I see that tape. That looks pretty, maybe not too close. Welcome everybody. Let's see if it has shown up yet. That's my excuse for, okay, it did not. So let me do this. I'm gonna stop this record. Don't worry, everybody. This has nothing to do with, let me go this, and let's see. It might not register it, in which case, oh well. I could start again. We've had so many delays. What are you going to do? Bingo. Now we're talking. Let's check that level. Let's just lower that a little. That one is there, okay, and now I have that there. Welcome, everybody. Tom Caldabiano here. Everybody loves Raymond 360 Live. Every single Sunday, I answer as many questions as I possibly can. I haven't had any guests in a while because we're working up to do our full-time podcast where we have guests. So to have guests do a live and then stay to do an hour of a podcast is asking a lot of all these people. So cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday. What am I drinking? I am drinking, wait a minute. It's not that. I know it's from Deb Tucker Frank. Here we go. So, we can try our second camera if we want, but let me hold off on the second camera. Let me try this for a second. Yeah. So that, if I were a tea bag, Twinings every day, rich and full-bodied. There we go. Rich and full-bodied tea. Thank you, Deb Tucker Frank. Let me see. I'm done. I've made this how up to date we are. I am doing that. Wow, my sleeves, it's so hot here, folks. I think it's 101 degrees here in Hollywood. Okay, let me do this. I'm gonna put the tea bag. Where can I put the tea bag? I know. I'm gonna put it over here. So the road was closed coming to the studio. We had a couple of glitches, they call them, in the business. Okay, watch this. I'm gonna do this and get that over there. Okay. Let's say hello to a bunch of people. I hope I sound good. Let me just do this. I do love the techno aspect, and that could be a weakness on me. Okay, let's just try and pull together. Is my collar up? And my collar's up. Oh boy. My stylist quit. Hello, Gil. Hello, Thomas Gerard. Okay, I do have a clue for all of you about that park. Hello, Tom and everyone. That's a nice greeting. I think this tea is too hot. Yeah, this tea is too hot. Let me do this. I move this here. Okay, continuing with our hellos. All right, let's look at our hellos. Hi, Janet. How is it in Marshfield, Massachusetts? Hey everyone, I'm present. Hi Christina. Hi, yes, hi Carol. We had really nice weather day in Virginia. Hope you had the same in LA. Sounds like you are in scuba gear. Do I still sound like I'm in scuba gear? Donnell, you hit 105, but you're in Austin, so that's expected. Yes, Karen Jack also in Austin, 101 degrees. Yeah, all the south, see, Kim, Donnell, Karen Jack, you know, you chose that part of the country. We are in Los Angeles, where it's supposed to be 73 and not so humid. That's what we signed up for. Okay, let me scroll down here. The lamp behind where? Like the lamp behind where? Like the lamp behind where? What does that mean? By the way, let's vote on a color because we can change the color to anything. Do we want to change the color? Do we want to pitch some colors? I know red was mentioned as a color. Here, let me check this out. Okay, yes, doing that. And now I'm looking here. And let me look here. So what I'm looking at, folks, is I'm seeing if I have any messages, which would not be good. Oh, here we go. Here's a nice, I'm going to go to the tight camera. Do we have the tight camera? Okay. Okay, hold on. Where do we want it to live? Right there? Look at that. That is 101 degrees, folks. Always, comedy should be done in the cold. David Letterman was very much responsible for Everybody Loves Raymond. His studio was 50 degrees, ice cold, freezing cold, very cold, whatever other descriptor you want to say. Yes, Dennis, what color do we want this lamp? Now, where's the lamp? Here's the lamp. So we had a lot of comments, some complaints, and then we lost the lamp for a second because we just wanted to, and because we're still building the set here. And then a lot of people said, hey, where's the lamp, Tom? And so I don't know. What is the color that we want this lamp? It can be any color. Should we switch it to a red? Is this a deep, what color is it now? It's hard for me to tell because it's so illuminated. Is it chartreuse? I just thought I'd say that because, whoa, okay. Let's do that. Sunny here. I love okay. Kim likes purple, but I don't think purple will go with. So look, we have like a Frank and Marie kind of 70s vibe. So that is what, strobing? What would you call that? That feels
faulty bulb. Just seeing if everyone's paying attention. This is lightning.
Lightning. Okay. This is going to give people perhaps a seizure.
We need a warning.
Yeah. Cream. Tony is saying cream. Tony's saying.
Right, so now we'll see if we can address some of those.
Yeah. Can you do a deep red?
The deepest red, yeah, is
Hi, Bev.
somewhere in there. That's pretty.
Blue will feel cooler. Cooler as in good or bad, Donnell? Go full purple for Kim.
Yeah. It's just getting washed out by the light.
Yeah, so what you have to, I can't swing the cameras, there's too many, but I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 very big lights pointing at me, and then there's 2 lights that are behind me, kind of rim lights. So there's a lot of lights hitting that thing. So when it gets pumped up, you also get the reflection, you see. So a lighting person is going to be like, we have to lose this reflection, we have to flag that, cut, etc. So, but we're watching live. All right. But I am excited that people have opinions about that lamp. Now, I want to do sconces or something with a little more personality. But what it allows us to do is beige. Wow, I really don't have a color preference for the lamp, so it doesn't matter to me. Interesting. Blue is pretty. Okay, so Kelly, when you say that one, see, how many colors have we gone through? Welcome to Color Test Television, here where we work through every lighting scenario. So that's what we were at, right? Yes. So can we see a deep red?
That is deep red.
Oh, boy.
That's pretty deep.
That's pretty deep red?
Yeah, it's 100% saturation and
Okay.
0 on the scale of hue.
Um,
If we turned off the lights, I can show you.
oh yeah, we could kill lights. That would take a while. Okay, let me say hi to the neglected, the little neglected child that's we call Instagram. Okay, okay, going over to Instagram to say hello. Hello, Tom, watching from Crystal Lake, Illinois. Welcome, Crystal Lake, Illinois. That's fantastic. Hi, Bugleskur. In the UK. We have a huge audience in the UK, everybody. Hello, Suzanne Flexman. Denise, hi, Tom. Watching Ray now when they fall out of bed and Tay hurts his wrist. And you mean Ray. Yeah, that was based on a real-life story that happened to writer Jennifer Crittenden. Yes. Chartreuse. Yes. My husband says the whole Raymond show looks red on our TV. That is a TV problem. I can assure you, They spent hundreds of dollars on Everybody Loves Raymond color correction, and we shot in film, one of the rare shows that actually shot in film. And so it is your TV. Just like, let me say this is a public service announcement also. Okay, hold on, let me just take a sip. Here, I'm gonna find it, Matt. Oh no, why are you going, you wanna go out there? Okay. Is our ELR 360 logo, drinking from the AIS mug, and I was not, my A was not in the S today when I wanted it to be, okay? And like I said, road closed. I'm very thirsty. Okay, what was I saying? Public service announcement. Every once in a while, every week, one person writes, "Hi, Tom. Can you tell them to stop broadcasting Everybody Loves Raymond in Spanish to my television?" Okay, so that is a television setting problem. They don't all of a sudden have a switch that says, let's give them a little Spanish Raymond here from headquarters. So that is always your TV situation, unless if you are writing me from Chile, Uruguay, did I pronounce it correctly? Some Spanish-speaking country, then yes, my guess is that is the first language that they are broadcasting in. And then you might complain and say, hey, Tom, why are they broadcasting in English? Kathy Pine says, brown paneling absorbs the reflection when it's red. So it's red now, and you are correct. There's no glare. Minimal glare, okay? A lighting, by the way, a part of the beauty, let me get in close here. Part of the beauty of this low rent thing they call YouTube is, and that Hollywood often ruins, is they take away the proximity, the intimacy, etc. And next thing you know, you're very far away and you feel distant. Here you feel like you're just sitting in a chair right in front of me and I'm talking to you, etc. Okay, let's go. Donnell, according to the hue heat hypothesis, blue can make your body temperature feel a bit cooler, so it's nice on a hot day. Yes, but my comfort is important to nobody, so we must look for aesthetics over comfort. Okay, Deb, Tucker, Frank, I hope you're healing nicely. Italy Part 1, Season 5. Since interior scenes were shot back in Burbank on Stage 5 and outdoor scenes were shot on locations in Rome, what was the hardest part about stitching the two halves together to make it look seamless? Thanks, Deb. Always so polite. Always so many good questions. The story is done, so you have to remember from a screenwriting point, well, you don't have to remember anything, but from a screenwriting point of view, a scene has an energy. So if you have a fight with your spouse or your friend or whatever, that fight has a certain energy, and that can continue. You can start it in the bedroom, continue in the kitchen, in the morning, continue it in the car, and finish it at the office. So that's kind of it doesn't matter where it is as far as writing a scene is concerned. As far as continuity is concerned, the biggest problem is just making sure, and I know that I always hold up the script that you guys guess, which is always a miracle, like this one, make sure there's nothing, like this one here. If I turn it around, you'll know what it is. All of those Polaroids that are inside are for continuity. So when it seems frivolous, when I'm showing it to you and you're thinking, well, do you really need it, Tom? Like, when do they refer to it? Now, if you're making a movie, or if you're shooting in Italy, and then 2 weeks later you have to be in Burbank, and Phil goes, hey, can we please make sure that Ray is wearing the same thing? And the wardrobe department goes, Phil, we have so many Polaroids here. We've taken 500 Polaroids of everything. Clothing and how they look is the biggest problem. So the bedroom scene where Ray walks in and complains, and if you see, there's a very funny blooper, which I won't give away, but you can look it up on YouTube. Ray walks in, he's complaining. It's a beautiful small bedroom in Italy, and then he walks out the balcony, and in the balcony, you see all of a sudden an amazing shot of Italy, a vista, a beautiful thing. So those shots took place maybe 4 weeks apart, 5 weeks apart. So Raymond on that balcony better look the same that he does in Raymond in Italy on that balcony better look the same that he does 5 weeks later in Burbank. So that's the biggest challenge, is just the continuity, because you guys are now, you do catch blunders, but you have the benefit of watching the show a million times and bringing it up at any point and being able to search, which is phenomenal. The fact that Donnell found the coconut, which I don't know if my friend Bobby found that coconut, but that didn't exist way back when, right? So you couldn't. So the whole point is you're looking at the actor for the most part. Are you looking at the background? Yes. Are you looking at the background more on the 100th time you're watching it? Absolutely. So it is very important, but the actor is the most important aspect. Awesome question, Deb Tucker Frank. I do appreciate it. Let me see. Janet, I want to put a smiley silhouette on your shade. So the shade is a little blank for me, but a smiley face would take it a little bit. You know, we're having serious discussions about comedy, and I wouldn't want to enter too much frivolity on that shade. Yeah, funny suggestion. We'll take vote. Like, I still want to put up a sconce or something like that, which would be very nice. Hi, Danielle Booth. You are new here, I can tell. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. We are growing. I think we have 115,000 followers now. So we are growing very quickly, which is awesome. And, you know, I look at, and people usually send me links to these. They're like, Tom, look at this on this other Every Rose Raymond Facebook page. And I feel bad because some of these pages have a lot of followers and they're nothing but AI posts. But I mean, hundreds of AI posts of the fake Ray and Phil holding up a sign, Patty holding up a sign, you know, watch the show. And I'm like, why are people, I feel bad because what we're trying to bring you here is the inside scoop on Every Rose Raymond. And on these other sites, I'm like, wow, they sure have a lot of followers. And why aren't those followers, you know, getting a little bit tired of seeing the same AI thing? So yes, the question is, do the actors ad lib? All right. So I have to cut together a clip, and I will someday, about Ray Romano talking about the ad-libbing. So, because when I ask him on camera, he's sitting next to me, and I go, and someone says, you know, do the actors ad-lib? And Ray goes, he literally holds up his hand, he goes, 0. So I don't know if that, I think that's the okay sign in some countries and a swear word in other countries. So the scripts are very, very tightly written. So Marie comes in and she says, Raymond, ... comma, are you that is all written out, very to the beat. So the only ad-libbing that would happen is Raymond would sometimes do something called second takes. We would gather together, a couple of us. Ray would be like, hey, there's some good second take possibilities this week. And then I would go into his dressing room for like the first 5 or 6 years. And then later on, other writers would join us and we would come up with second takes. Why can't all the actors, let me see if I have, let me see if this, I think this is a script. Let's see. I know this is a script. Did we try and guess this one? I don't. Yeah, I think we already did this one. Yes, we did this one. So this is a, it's unfortunate. This one isn't. Okay, so a script looks like this, right? I know what I was hoping for is a numbered script. Let me just see. How many scripts do I have? So every single line is numbered. I don't have one here. I have many scripts at my fingertips, but not one. Every single script is numbered. Every line is numbered. So all the camera people, the camera switcher, which by the way I found great photo. I took one full proof sheet of everybody that worked on the show. The sound department, the camera switcher, the lighting guy, all this stuff. Everybody is going by the line. What does that mean, Tom? That means, okay, all 4 cameras are going to roll on line 16. The switcher goes to a camera on line 16. The lighting cue hits line 16. Everybody does line 16. If Raymond or any other actor goes, you know what, I'm going to add a couple different lines in here. The actors, it becomes chaos. It just cannot happen. And so the only time would be Ray can do a second take ad lib, which is a line that he inserts in the place of another line. So they know he's only going to say one line here. He's not going to say 12 different lines, and Patty is not going to jump in and say 17 different lines, you know. So that's why there's a pragmatic reason. Even if it was Robin Williams, who's like, okay, Robin Williams, he's a good ad-libber. Let's just let him go. You couldn't do that. It would be chaos. However, having said that, I think because people love how funny they are and they're such good actors that you assume that they're ad-libbing. So I just want to be that clear, because even when Ray is saying zero ad-libbing, it's for a very specific reason, and it doesn't take away from the brilliance of the acting at all. Okay, let me see if I can try this tea from Deb Tucker Frank. I have a couple teas here, but this one, okay, let me see how this one looks. Okay, from our favorites quotes mug, I can't talk here, so that's a nice red. That goes with the set extremely well. So, okay, that's good, yes. I would call that a very, it's kind of a straight ahead tea. And that's again, I'm more of a guy who grew up with something in the vein of a Lipton. So that is a very straight ahead tea. That's the best thing I can say. Let me see this place. Let me see this. Let me scroll here. Let's go back to our friends at Instagram. Hi, Instagram. Tom Caltabiano here, writer on Ed Rose Raymond, official, unofficial, behind the scenes photographer, and now kind of the archivist, I realize. Hello, Tom. Hi, Zony Pony 54. Hello, Tom from Mesa, Arizona. That's a familiar name. Zony Pony, you've been here for a long time. Mesa, Arizona, 113 degrees all week. Oh boy, that is tough. Hi, Jenny Noya 2906. Hello from the Netherlands. Hello, I went to a wedding once in Delft. I enjoyed the Netherlands immensely. Okay, let's go back to here now, because what else do we have? We have so much to cover, so much to talk about. I posted, I'm going to do the fancy thing soon. I did post the thing about Limehoff. Limehoff is the Long Island Museum of Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. It is in Stony Brook, Long Island. It has the complete Raymond living room and kitchen that was used in the anniversary special that aired on CBS. It is as close, like not one person who worked on the show could tell the difference. Maybe Donna Stamps and Sharon Bussey would know, and LJ Hootie Shell, Judson, that crew, they might be like, Tom, here's this is different, you know, but it's 99.9% accurate. And the set changed every year. So there were little changes, you know, just like a normal house. Okay. That, if you want to see the ultimate Raymond experience, go to the Long Island Museum of Entertainment, Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. Limehoff is short. They have more memorabilia than any place has ever had in the history of the show. And you can sit on Ray and Deborah's couch, and a great job over there by that crew, etc. So that's one of the things that I am mentioning, because I don't know how long it will be there. Hopefully for a little while longer, but soon. You know, you just never know. The worst thing I have is when a band or something I see that they were in my neighborhood and I didn't know. So I'm trying to give you guys the heads up. By the way, this helps me a lot, you guys. When I post a picture and so the worst thing that happened last week, in the scheme of things, it's not bad, but you know, my photos kept getting taken. They would cut off my watermark and then take exactly the words I said and put it on another site. And you know, so that takes effort as opposed to just sharing. Go ahead and share. So what does help me, you guys don't have to write angry comments. You don't have to do anything. You can join the site and enjoy whatever they post. But if you tag me in a photo that you know is mine, that's helpful, because then at least I can block that person. And this person I did not know, and then I realized, oh, they're doing a lot. Okay, Carol, this is a long one. Let me see. Um, Sweet iced tea. Yes, that is the Southern thing. Okay, Carol Nicholson. Let's go. By the way, anybody who ordered forks and spoons, they went out. I really appreciate the fork and spoon magnets. I think we have a couple, hanging around. I don't know where they are, but I think I had one on my desk here. Let me see. Let me see. I'll look around. Okay, Carol, let's see this one. It was a very small thing, but on Cruising with Marie, Marie was in the stateroom talking to Ray while she got ready to go dancing. She pointed to the perfume at the wall. By the way, I'm not mocking you guys when you leave out words. I'm just filling it in because you're trying to get these comments up here. Perfume at the wall, and then reoriented it to herself. That seems so real. Something I would do spraying in the wrong direction. Would that little gesture be deliberate or no big deal for the actress Doris to do accidentally? That would be 100% Doris. That, if that's what you're saying, like, did we write, unless it was a really deliberate thing, that type of detail would be Doris, who was the most consummate professional. And I know, I don't want to compare Everett Raymond to Shakespeare because it's at least one notch below that, but very little stage direction. So in Shakespeare, so you have to, on Raymond, unless it was a deliberate thing, unless it was, we need him to be deliberate in some action, the business, the physical business they call it, that's usually what the actors come up with on stage. And sometimes that, when you talk about ad-libbing, there's times when Brad Garrett just, or the way Patty would, all the actors, I can't just call out one, Brad Garrett would come up with some facial thing and we're like, oh, that's funnier than anything we ever wrote. Okay, so let me go here. Let me do this. Let me see where we are in time. Okay. We have tons of time. We have tons of time, folks. Okay. Hey, Tom, how's Ray and his family doing? I would really love for you to bring him back on the live. I want to see him. Yes. Ray's done this twice now. I will have him back. Raymond is always good. Kim, yes, you might run into Kevin. So Kevin is the artistic director there, and he gave Kim the special live tour. Okay, excellent. Can't speak highly enough of Kevin. All right, Deb Tucker Frank. Let's see what we got here. No Roll, Season 6, Episode 2. 2 versions of this episode exist in syndication streaming. In one version, the board game prompt says climb Mount Everest, and in another version it says go off to war. Why were there 2 different scripts recorded or edited for this specific scene? Thanks, Deb. Yes, some of you, Deb is exactly right. That happened because you guys can look up what it was. But we recorded as off to war, I believe. We recorded it as off to war in front of the television. And I think a war was declared, either Afghanistan or somewhere. And the network executives thought, we can't say that because it's too something, too sensitive. Now, I think we thought, well, war is so here, I'll say this. Phil always wanted the show never to have current events, no references. But war, I'm going off to war, is an expression. And so the thinking is, really off to, I know they declared this, so it'd be one thing if we had a show and Ray said, I'm going to go visit my friend who works on top of the Twin Towers, okay? And we recorded that, and then the Twin Towers fell. Well, that would be terrible, and it would be such a thing that we would have to change it. Off to war, the network was being sensitive and I guess avoiding any negative stuff. So climbing Mount Everest was a substitute for that. And so I don't know what airs where. You guys would know more of that. And that's, by the way, a couple of people have, I don't want to say challenged me, but called me that I'm completely wrong. And it turns out that I was not wrong and they were wrong. And some people have apologized and other people, I don't know, or they huff or something like that. You guys know more than I do about what has aired and what is airing. 100%. I cannot speak with any confidence of what you see on TV Land or Amazon or anything. I just don't know. I watch on Apple TV. I think I have it. And of course I have the DVD sets, which hopefully Ray doesn't realize are missing from his office. But that, without any doubt, I just got a message from the Raymond writers. Let me see what it is. The as broadcast, as we call it, and some of the scripts are as broad. Was there no numbered shooting scripts in that pile? Okay, yeah, it's fine.
They
Not,
seem like they're from the script person.
yeah.
Wardrobe.
Yeah. There's a shooting script that's a numbered thing, but I don't. It's not that important. But what was I going to say? A lot of. Let me take a drink and just. I feel like I've been talking nonstop. Let me take a drink of the daily. Let me go over to this camera here. Yes, the camera, the tight shot camera. What contest in hell did I win? Okay, let's get rid of that.
Is this the numbers you're talking about? It's not that.
Yes, yes, perfect. So I'm going to show you so here is this is a Rhonda script.
Do it here.
So, yeah, so here we go. Okay, so this is a Rhonda script. This is what is a Rhonda script, Tom? It is a props department script. So there's no wardrobe photos. There are photos from the props department that should be in an envelope, which I don't need. But here we go. So now I'm going to open this up, and you're going to see, I think, tougher than every line. See how every line has a number next to it? So let me scroll this down here and then down there and square it up. Here we go. Can we go any tighter than that?
Sure.
There, see? Line 35 is Ray. Yeah. Although it would be weird. I mean, they've always been right across the street. I can't imagine them not being there. Okay, the home. Then the next line is number 36. So when there's a big change, everybody will go, let's go back to where? Back to line 37, everybody. And then everybody just looks at line 37 in their script. They don't go from where Ray says that he is. They just go line 37. Now, the person who's doing it, the switcher, the dolly grip, all those people have notes in their script of where. So the switcher is going to say, okay, line 37, me too. Deborah says, me too. So the switcher goes, I know on line 37, it's a close-up of Deborah. I'm going to that shot, which is C camera. So everything that I just said, they've already prepared in the week of rehearsal. So if they just start winging a bunch of stuff, there is trouble. So there you go. That's the numbered script. That really helped a lot to illustrate the complexity of going on, of why they can't just ad-lib a bunch of stuff. Okay, now I'm going to play my favorite thing, which is, let's see, Bunny Levine. That's what the Raymond writers are writing about. She was in Everybody Loves Raymond. Okay, everybody. What was she on Everybody Loves Raymond? Let me do this. Let me find one of these cables. This one. This is now my favorite technological advancement. Let's see, does this bring it up? Let's see, is that 3?
Should be 3. Yeah.
Yes, it's not showing, but
Do you need to give permission on the phone?
I have faith. Let me see. I don't know. Let me try 4. That's 3. There we go. It works. Okay. So who was Bunny Levine, everybody? She just died at age 97. And so she was in Everybody Loves Raymond and a few other things. Bunny Levine. Okay, no longer with us. Yeah, I don't know why. Let me just see this, Matt. Okay, yeah, it is 3. That's me looking at some equipment. Okay, so let's play my.
Work or it's not working?
It is. So let me go back to this. Okay. So what I like to do is to answer questions because I always forget. What did I do? What did I talk about? Okay, that's that. We don't need this. Okay. So now I go to 3 and there. Can I zoom in? I forget. So this is the Long Island Museum of Entertainment Hall of Fame. This is the opening ceremony. You can see, I can't, it's kind of playing like a reel, but here, let me, oh, it's playing like a reel. Now, okay, hold on. There's Brad Garrett. Okay, here we go. Let's click. Okay, there's Kevin. There we go. Now it's working. That's Kevin, who's the artist. He looks artistic. He was sitting, you know, Kim, he took your place at the 30-year reunion show. He went to that show. And then here is Raymond, and there is the Long Island Museum of Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. That was a visit that Ray and I did. Here you can kind of see a group of a bunch of reporters, etc., in the living room during the event. And here's when I showed up, and Ray is pointing at me. Nobody else notices me. Ray is pointing at me because I, you know, helped put that whole thing together. Okay, so that's a pretty good, that is a pretty good thing. Okay, let's go back to this. Now, okay, what I'm going to do is, oh, yes. Oh, this is very helpful. Okay. Do you guys like me scrolling live, or do you want me to, okay, let's go all the way back to the live. Okay, here we go. Okay. Well, let me catch up on some questions. The ELR show could really have been titled Everybody's Mother-in-Law. We had to mention, yes, Bunny just passed away, I think. Who was she? She wasn't Mrs. Stipe. Who was she, you guys, in that? Okay. Let me go. This is a great thing. There is David Proval with Brad Garrett, with a little bit of a hand on him. And Stefania looking ravishing as usual. Here, The Office, the American version of The Office. I was there. I have not seen many episodes of The Office. I've seen a lot of clips of The Office, but this was after Ray was guesting once, and he was great on it, and I went there to that thing. Here we are, Guess the Wardrobe. Now, I don't know why, Patty looking great there with her upper lip being taken care of. For some reason, folks, and I don't know why, the Polaroid photos don't get a lot of, I love them, I love seeing them, they don't get a lot of action, so to speak. So a lot of people, not as many people see them for whatever reason. I don't know whether it's a border or something like that. Okay, was this in something? Yes, here was the tag. Okay, yes, the tag to that episode where Ray dances. We know that. Here we go. Their wedding reception, which I love. Remember holding her script. Yes, the best dance moves. That's the question I asked. There we go. A great moment in this. Now, the decor, the Pennsylvania decor of the McDougals. Did we think it captured it? I personally thought they did a great job of capturing what a Pennsylvania, you know, look, there's a lot of places in Pennsylvania, so you can't generalize, but we do because we are human beings, okay? Our little Tuesday. Now, here's a little bit of trivia. Hank, did Hank ever have a muffin? That, I will do a whole thing on this character because it was a lot of different people thrown together, and very much the mother was very much based on Amy's mother, Monica Horan's mother in real life, was very soft-spoken like that. Of course, Georgia Engel was brilliant, and that's how she sounded in real life. She would be like, "Hi, Tom, how are you?" That's a very bad impression of her, but she was very much that person. Hank was based on quite a few things, but we knew somebody who worked at CBS, and her father had never had a cookie, had never had popcorn, had never had a muffin. And I started keeping a list of all the things her father did not have, and which was incredible. You know, how do you not have a muffin? Which Frank found a little bit off-putting as well. So, and that, by the way, that's a photo that I took, black and white photo, that Phil asked me to take for the end of the episode. So I have, it was the one time when I had full permission, not that Phil fought me on it, but Phil was like, take a lot of pictures for the show versus you should be pretending to be writing on the show instead of taking pictures. Okay, let's scroll back. Here we go. The special chair, yes, in possession of Phil Rosenthal. and that is I believe it's called a diamond pattern. That's what makes that dinette chair so unique. And Phil does have that chair. Excellent guesses, everybody. Okay, here we go. This one surprised a lot of people. This is the toaster episode, okay? Doris Roberts is in curlers, and because it's show day, Cindy Shupak is holding the yellow script, just like the one I just held up for you guys. Phil is giving notes, right? They're all sitting there. It's funny that Raymond and Peter Boyle have the exact same hand-on face as Phil goes over the notes. And the dynamic there is, and Scrow also, Steve Scrovan there, that's the director. And Aaron Shore, you can see, Susan Van Allen there. Sorry, it snaps back. It doesn't let me keep it. That's why I keep snapping back. Tucker Cawley, etc. And a lot of people thought that was the film studio behind, but that is actually the living room was, their living room and kitchen was almost never where it is in this episode. It was almost always on the other side of the stage. So what you're seeing back there is actually the back wall where craft services is. So I know it's hard, and that's actually a piece of equipment there. That orange thing is like a scissor thing. What would they call it? It's like a lift thing, okay? Now, this one, great. I'll go to your questions in a second. Comments. I don't think you hear any audio, but there's Fred Stoller, and that scene was cut. You guys confirmed it for me. We filmed it, but here Fred's waiting for his cue. He comes in. They've had the discussion already about whether Ray drank or not. Patricia Heaton looking very fetching right there, coming across. But that Phil must have decided, hey, it's not worth the time to go over to watch him cross, etc. Okay, so let's check some comments here, everybody. Are you enjoying this review of the week? Because I get to fill in a lot more than when I am writing. Okay. Bunny Levine. I read Bunny Levine played Marie's friend who flirted with Ray at the end. That might make sense. Yeah. Yes. Robert's Wedding, which you're watching on Me Too Beach House. Okay. Sorry. Yes. Donnell, a scissor lift. Thank you, Donnell. I really do appreciate it. Tom, when Bob and I met you and Phil in San Antonio, Monica's mom was one of the things Phil and I talked about. I was surprised to hear how similar she was to Georgia Engel, but it definitely explained how Monica was able to do such a dead-on impression. Yes, absolutely. And what Karen is referring to is Phil Rosenthal and I were walking through on the Riverwalk in San Antonio, and then she came up and said hello. And we haven't been able to shake her since. Okay. That is a joke, everybody. Scrolling. I'm going to count my ums today because I think it's quite up there. Hi, Anita John. Hi, Tom Quick Slow. Sorry I couldn't join you at the start. Have a great week ahead and hope to join you all next week. Yes, absolutely. And the start was late. Oh, was she Shamsky's mother? That's a good guess. So Hilda and Artie wanted to see the Knock Knock jokes on Mother's Day. Yeah, I don't think I think she was in Deborah at the Lodge. Hilda, yes, Kathy Pine. So yeah, she must have been among that gaggle of angry wives. Okay, so now let's go back to this. Last hit, yes, the last hit was Gomer Pyle USMC, which is true. Did anybody watch the show on Friday nights? Okay, this was the show on Friday night. Who is that person? That's not the mother of the child. That is what's known as a child wrangler. That's Susan, I believe it's Susan DeFabre. I'm pretty close to that. And that's a first assistant director. And that's another child wrangler there with the red hair behind. Yes, that's right, folks. When I'm no longer around, all this exciting trivia will no longer be around. To answer those questions, because there's speculation. There we go. Frank and Marie, of course. Frank and Marie wearing, yes, her colorful prints, absolutely. And again, as I mentioned, Doris took all of her wardrobe. She said there was a truck. Mary Ellen Boucher said there was a truck that backed up to get all of her wardrobe, and Patricia Heaton took zero Okay, there we go. Patty smiling. This is one of my recent scans. I showed you guys how I scan the photos. Painstaking Lee. There's another wardrobe photo, which you guys know, of course. Do we think that Robert was treated fairly by them? You know, he is an adult. People pointed that out. But can you blame them? He treated her like a yo-yo. Of course, Peter is giving him the stink eye, which is very enjoyable to watch. But I do think, you know, it was... it made sense for their characters to not give the thumbs up. Of course, as we've said, everybody whose life goes poorly when we worked on the show is good for the show. You don't want it to go smoothly for Robert. Did Patricia Heaton wear wigs? No, she only wore them in flashback episodes. So bad bangs or something like that, maybe. I know you guys called. Here we go. The toaster affirmation. Patty on show day, pregnant with curlers in her hair. Phil Rosenthal wearing the same thing as he did in the kitchen. He has that. What color is it? I don't know. I don't even know what color it would be called. But this photo, he is wearing the same thing as this photo. Now I also know because it's on my proof sheet. But a lot of you guessed it. But it was a a tough one. Did Everybody's Raymond ever help you through a tough time? Yes, great responses there, folks. I'm assuming it did. Raymond, how would you react if you saw someone eating a fly? Okay. I mean, he's very incredulous. I think you would be right there with him. Robert as a model, yes. Brad Garrett, one of Brad Garrett's favorite scenes. Patty, just random shot, wardrobe shot. Very seldom. So I said people very seldom smiled for the camera. It's not that they're too snooty. It's usually Phil is giving them notes or somebody's giving them notes. And then the wardrobe, the person runs in and snaps a photo while they're not looking. Ray's father, this is Ray and Phil's father, who were very funny, very deadpan. And then what exchanges this episode? A lot of people guessed it from the Ingrate. Excellent work, everybody. And then, of course, the material, the answer here is denim. The denim prison. What material? The denim prison. There's John Manfrotati, who delivers one of his funny lines, etc. And then here's our outtake. Now, this is the last photo that I want to let me come on again so you know that I'm still here and still alive. Let me catch up before we talk about that next photo. Let me see, minute bing, bada boom. How did that, yes, Ray was very good at holding that thing. I think they glued down some things. Yes, so Patty wore a wig in the middle, the entire time on the middle. Janet, we are soaking up your tidbits of information while we can. Yes, funny. I made the insinuation, yeah. That's kind of like a desperate plea for appreciation, I would call that. One of my favorite episodes is the Italy episode. Is there anything that happened behind the scenes there? Just wondering. Misty Brown, excellent question. So I did not go to Italy. Only Lou Schneider went to Italy, and Phil, of course, and Ray. So I don't have any behind the scenes story. I know what it was like filming on stage. So maybe when Phil or Ray, Lou would probably be the best person he has a fantastic memory, and Phil was busy running the show, etc. Is come on Comet on the mug. My husband loves that line. Lynn, we're taking a vote for the next. There's so many great quotes, and so this was all voted on by the fans. Let me just bring that over there. Yeah. So we took a vote. I think it took us 3 months to get this mug. Everything voted on or off. Come on Comet is not on this, but we will do it for the next iteration. An excellent, do we make that as a mug, standalone mug? Or do we just do the compilation? The problem is, how many, the AIS is our biggest seller, and the quotes mug our biggest seller, so, and also the keychain as well. Bonnie Levine played Hilda in Deborah at the Lodge. Yes, she also appeared in an episode of Men of a Certain Age. Yes, Raymond just said that. Excellent. Excellent, Gil. I appreciate it. That is awesome. Okay, let's go now to this How are we doing on time? Ho, ho, okay, here we go. That's the camera, that's this. Okay, so that, I don't know what that is. That's Johnny's, it went away. My page went away, okay. So, this one, I said, who do you see hiding? Well, this got an amazing amount of response, but it is Fred Stoller right there. Okay, stay with me, photo. It's Fred Stoller hiding in front. Okay, let's clear up a couple things. There's a guy that looks really, really a lot like Raymond's brother in back there. Ray's real life brother, Richard, who plays a policeman in a couple episodes, okay? That looks a lot like Ray's brother, all the way in back, the last guy, like Ray's brother, Richard. It is not Ray's brother, Richard, who the character Robert is based on. There is the policeman you'll recognize, of course, Andy Kindler, Sherry Shepard, the lovely Maggie Wheeler there, and there is hiding. A lot of people said Denzel Washington. A couple of people said Denzel Washington. And as far as I know, there's nobody that you would know. There's a couple of people who are friends of Raymond's, etc. One of the twins, but yes, Fred Stoller is the hiding person right there. Sorry, it keeps snapping back. Now, why were Henry Winkler and Georgia Engel together? Somebody got it right up front. Let's look at the comments. We look at the comments. Let's see all comments. I click that. Inquiring minds want to know. Yes. So, Phil sold a sitcom to ABC called The Winklers. And Henry Winkler has a son named Max Winkler. And they were, Henry and Georgia, were at the filming in the show. Let me see, what did Georgia do? Because I can't remember because it was only one episode. But Henry, who's a delightful human being who I only met maybe twice, was really into photography. And unfortunately, I covered it up with the logo self. It covered up his Nikon camera, but there you can tell he was a big fan of Nikon cameras. And Georgia, of course, just delightfully sweet as always, and knew me from Raymond taking photos. Henry did not know me from taking, as the guy who took a lot of photos. So I snapped that, but that's what it was. Phil Rosenthal developed a show called The Winklers. It was very funny. It did not go. You never know. I will tell you that story someday, my experience there, because he had a lot of the Raymond writers come to that and to try and, work on it. And I remember, who is it? Is it Jonah Hill? Is that his name? Is friends with Max Winkler. So he was there. I remember him all of a sudden showing up and being, etc. Being like, oh, that's him right there. Okay, look at this before we play Guess the Script and take a snack. Taste a snack. Brad Garrett smiling. He's doing a goofy, friendly smile. That's what he would do to me when I would snap a picture a lot. But behind him is the staircase that leads up to Ray and Deborah's mailbox. Boy. Staircase. The padded area, if you walk there, you'll wind up in Ray and Deborah's living room. And when they do a curtain introduction or curtain call, that's where you see them often standing. One time I took a picture of Patty Heaton there. Her hair it was beautiful, and she's standing right next to that thing. So there's Brad Garrett, and there's a refrigerator. A nice smile by Brad, who always makes me laugh. And then, of course, at a table read, Patty and Doris Roberts, who got along very well, at a table read. And I don't know, is Patty, I don't even know where Patty's looking, but I definitely must have used a flash. It looks very flashy there. Okay, let's play, everybody. Let me catch up. And then we play Guess the Scripts, which I'm so impressed. I mean, it goes so, I'm really blown away, actually. Let me see. Let's see this. The Winklers. Yes, I will tell you a classic show business story, The Winklers. I thought it was cool when Deb and Ray went to Doug and Carrie's on King of Queens, the crossover. Yes. Who is the old guy with the mustache? He is just a random person, an extra, as they say. Let me see. My favorite is Lazy Eye Line. Yes. Tom, any plans to publish more books featuring your photos? It's funny because the photo book, which is here somewhere, I don't. It's okay. I don't need. You guys know what it looks like, but what happened was the show, we had to publish it before the show was going to be finished. So they had to get it out on the shelves. So here it is. There you go. There's the book. Everybody Loves Raymond, Our Family album, written by Ray Romano and photos by me. Let me see. There we go for Instagram. We got to go back a little more. Yes, right there. There you go. Our Family album. Let me show you the back. There it is. But it doesn't quite cover the entire series. Why? Because we had to get it to China to be printed and back in time to be on shelves before the show ended, and Phil was going to end the show at the end of season 8. And then he said, you know what, not so fast. I'm going to do it at the end of season 8. He and Ray decided, so that's why. So I have thought about completing this book. It gets into, it's Simon & Schuster published it. You know, I don't own the book rights. It's a complicated thing, but I would try and finish the book in that way. And the truth is, you know, some of my photos are seen by what's, I think the most viewed photo is like 3 million. And when you sell a book, a bestseller is 50,000. So this actually is much bigger. Okay, let's play. Let me catch up, and then we're going to play Guess the Script right away. Let's go this. I'd love Gomer Pyle. Let me see. Do you remember it's Raymond? I saw they're going to have I Love Lucy on. Hey, for all you Canadians that don't have Deja Vu anymore with Everybody Loves Raymond, I saw that they're going to have I Love Lucy on. Is that a new show, I Love Lucy? We are seeking up. Okay, great. Okay, let's do this because we're going to run out of time. And I appreciate everybody joining me every Sunday or watching, as if you're watching on your own time. Here we go. Guess the Script. These are the priceless, one of a kind, never to be completed. Oh, let me get this page out of here. Let's put that page there. Okay. First picture. Again, so now we have the benefit of 2 cameras. So I'm going to do this. I think we're fine. We're fine, yeah. There we go. Perfect. Raymond wearing pants and a shirt. Raymond smiling, wearing pants and a shirt. Okay. Nobody's going to, if you guess it from that first photo, I will be very impressed. And I don't think we've done this. Ooh, this might actually be a giveaway. This might be a giveaway. Let me just see this. Not that one. Ray Romano, dressed as Ray Barone, dressed as Ray Romano. It's all the same. T-shirt, shirt open. But this one, okay, folks, lean in because this next photo could give it away for you. Okay. Oh. Did not shoot. No wonder. Did not shoot. That's the first time we're seeing that on a, first time I'm seeing that on a Polaroid. Own did not shoot. Okay. Here we go. Do I remember? Did we see this once before? I don't think so, but that's a giveaway right there. There you go. Brad Garrett wearing nothing up top, and then Brad Garrett here. Okay, so this is going to be the earliest. All right, I'm not looking at my comments, everybody, so if you're shouting at the screen, you can stop shouting. I will go back and look. Here we go. Peter Boyle dressed and Peter Boyle dressed. Okay. Let's look before I go and complete it because we still have a snack to try. Okay, hold on. Nope. Let's see this. Scroll down, catch up. Okay, Annabelle. I'm assuming you're guessing and these aren't directed towards me. Okay. Too dark to see. Karen. It's super well exposed. Okay. I will hold up. Oh my God, I'd love that book. Yes, if you're a fan of that, you're a fan of Raymond, you will. Kathy Pine, I love you. Now, I could take that as a personal compliment, but I know that is indeed the name of the episode. Tom, it's not a new I Love Lucy, it's the old I Love Lucy. Yes, Mona, I was just making a joke because it's very funny that an old sitcom named Everose Raymond is being replaced by a much, much older sitcom named I Love Lucy. So there you go. Okay, let me scroll down here. Let me just give that proof just so people aren't jumping up and down. Here we go. Wow. So many people got it correctly. So what I'm looking at is the comments. See, I can look at Instagram. Let's see Instagram. Catch up on Instagram. Is it the I love you? Oh, that, I don't know when that came in. Tom, any chance of you getting some actors on live podcasts together? Yes, they've all been here. I know Patty wants to, I mean, everybody will do it. It's just a matter of the schedule, their schedule to come out in a Sunday. Wow, look how young. Yes, the Fonz. When would you more than likely have most of the ELR on the podcast? Another good saying is when Deborah says to the teacher, his family set a tent right across the street. Yes, absolutely. That was a great, these are all great quotes. Okay, let's go back to this. Everybody, let's taste a snack before. So it is the I love you episode. Great episode on every page. Oh, Donnell, it says I love you on every page I showed. Oh, see that? So then do we disqualify everybody? What do we do? Do we have to go, is this going to wind up in like a legal procedure? So they never, let me show what Donnell's talking about. It says I love you. See, we're good. Yes, it says I love you right there. Okay, so this is the second episode. This is the first episode filmed after the pilot, everybody, written by Phil. The wardrobe department did not do that on the scripts later on. That's how early this script was. So I'll show you a few more photos from it. Let me just lean back and let's see, how does Patty look? The twins, Tom McGowan, Patty. Let's see, only one shot of Patty. Is Patty only in one scene? Let me see, maybe oh no, there she is in 2, 3. Okay, so I'll show you a Patty shot. Okay, here we go. Let me just get it. Yeah, so that's, Donnell, thank you for being so honest. I had a friend who was a test pilot, and they were putting up pictures, and he was a good nostalgia buff, so they're putting up pictures in a slideshow, and they're like, does anyone know what year this is? And the guy guessed it right away, and they said, great job, Hojo. And he said, yes, well, the date is printed on the lower right corner of the photo. So kind of the same thing. Okay, there we go, Patty in that shot there. Okay, the I Love You episode. So now, Donnell, I'm going to have to keep an eye out. So here, since we're talking about controversy, a lot of people have asked about Doris's makeup in the first year, and there it looks like she's a kabuki actress, okay? It was very white, and a makeup artist explained to me that they use a certain thing, and with a flash it might go brighter, but I think you see it on camera that it is very bright. Okay, let's try. Let me see, can I do this? Yeah. I need like a third. Oh, I know what I can do. Watch this. This is called thinking. Here, let me just do this. Scrolling up to Limehoff, Tom, and then doing this. Let me do this. I'm gonna do this, which I don't do usually, but that is the address. If I keep getting, again, you guys don't have to send me anything, but I do get questions about, hey, Tom, what is the address? If we did want to send you some tea or something like that. So that is the address right there. I can zoom in, but you can, I think you can do something. I don't know. There we go. Yeah, it's perfect. All right, the canister, we're gonna hurry. The original canister, one of the original canisters, let me just get it there. Auto-focused, I reach in, very heavy. Okay, and let's hold this together. Never seen this. What does it say? Ballerina. It says ballerina. I don't know. By the way, I can't read. When I hold up, I go, what country is this from, everybody? Because I get surprised by these. And people are like, just look at the label. I can't see the label. So here. Okay, let me just, okay. This looks like a blast of chocolate. What country is that? So it feels Nordic because an umlaut over the O. So let me go, I'm going to go to the other camera, which is a
You can hold it vertical. So that,
which is a crazy
Yeah.
close-up. Yeah, for our Instagram people. So there we go, and I'm going to switch. Watch. Now you guys, can you read that label, everybody? Here, we can punch in. We can really go crazy. So there you go. Okay, it hasn't expired. That's a good sign. And what is the, oh, I see on that monitor, I can see it. I can almost see it. Okay. Yeah, it's in a foreign language. I don't see the country right away, and there's a label over it. Let me see. I hope people aren't getting sunned. That's German. Sonnen. What is that? Sonnenblumenöl. That must be sunflower oil. Okay, let's give her a try. Do I open this like this? I think I have a napkin. Okay. Oh, all right. Wow, a delicious hit of chocolate when I opened it. Really went pretty heavy. Okay, let's hold this up for this camera. Okay. So it's chocolate and vanilla on the one side. This feels very Nordic, the pattern to me. Okay, and then chocolate. Yeah, chocolate. Can we zoom in even more?
it's another.
Okay, we're at the end of our focal length there, and it's perfect. I mean, oh my goodness! I keep looking at this teeny, and it's so good on this monitor. Okay.
Move it in.
No. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna take a bite, folks, of the ballerina from unknown country. Let me look. People will comment. Sweden. It's from Sweden. Okay. So I placed one there. It's really good. The interior is the softest chocolate I've ever felt. In a cookie, meaning usually they get dry or they're purposely dry, but this is this is fresh. This tells me it's fresh. Okay, the ballerina. Do I try another one? Here, folks, here we go. The ballerina from Sweden. The Jolt Chocolat. Oh, I guess that's milk chocolate. There we go. That's perfect. Okay. I'm going to give this, wow, it's so odd how many different cookies there are and how many different flavors they can get. But that chocolate middle is super, super soft. Okay, here we go. Here's another one, folks. I can take a more civil bite, but if I take a civil bite, I get crumbs on my keyboard. So that's why I'm eating like an animal. Nice job, Sweden. Really good. I'm giving this an 8.2. This is surprising. I was not expecting to like this much. All right, final. Hold on. By the way, if you watch Phil Rosenthal's podcast or his TV show, he does a lot of chewing on camera, and his mug, I think, says "Talk with your mouth full," something like that. I'm gonna have to do this. Out of necessity. Final comments before we say goodbye, and then we continue through the week, posting everything, reading your comments, etc. Ray Fan Kim. Kim, you want to send me your father's homemade caramels, best on the planet? I think Karen Jack already has taken the record with the, by the way, here, watch this. Watch this, folks, everybody. Here, let me do this. Let me see this. And then I go, this is the beautiful thing about having that. Yeah, you can see me on camera. So I've been saving this. Okay, there's still a half a bite left in here because it's so unbelievably delicious. The non-peppermint bark cashew thing. So, but send away, Kim, or not. You don't have to, because I don't know how they'll travel. Wait until it cools off if you do that, because it feels like it would be a, whatchamacallit, gooey pile of terrible. I've had it before. I didn't like it, but I'm not a fan of hazelnut. Okay, you must be talking about something else. Let me see. Waiting to see if it beats my. Yes, Karen Jack. That is a delicious thing that you made. You're showing cookies as my husband is pouring milk, which he didn't want to do since he's having pretzels here at 6:45 p.m. He said, "Why don't you send him cookies?" Yes, we can meet up in Buttsville at the hot dog place. All right, folks, see you next week. Keep your comments coming. I love it. All your questions. I get around to it. I love reviewing the week, so that's good. I can get into depth. I'm going to be doing more features of describing photos and doing those those reels that I was doing where I was trying to describe as many photos as possible. And don't forget, we are on TikTok, YouTube, here on Instagram, etc. And if there's anything that you want to me to be aware of, just tag me in a post and I will look at it. All right. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you so much for joining.